Assalamu alaikum. I remain Honorable Suleiman Yahaya Romsi 1010. The men and women of Tiba and Caliber. Assalamu alaikum to you all. My questions goes like this. During the campaign, President Muhammadu Buhari, may he live long, he promised the fiscal challenge of their trending bill in the upper chamber will be fast-tracked and passed into the law. Honorable Ministers, may God be with you all. What are you doing about our bill by remembering His Excellency General Muhammadu Buhari about the bill of person living with disability? And also to His Excellency Malan Nasir Ahmad Al-Rufai, father of disabled in Kaduna State, Your Excellency, you should live long. So my questions goes like this. You promised person living with disability that our bill will also be passed into law in Kaduna State before you sign the bill that would prevent fiscally challenged or able person roaming the street begging. Sir, we are soliciting that you should fulfill your promise. We believe you will do it, and that is why you were voted in. Honorable Ministers, as you come here to Kaduna State, you guys are highly welcome, and I pray for Almighty Allah to move you back. And also, I want to remind you that please, you should do something by employing people living with disability in those ministries. We believe, despite we are fiscally challenged, we are able in mind. That is why I contest for a seat in Kaduna State House of Assembly. But for God be the glory, we could not make it. But we believe with Malan Nasir Ahmad Al-Rufai and General Muhammadu Buhari, our dream will come true. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now call on the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture to invite the respective ministers to respond to the issues raised. Honorable Minister, Information and Culture.
Well, I'm afraid the governor doesn't want me to ask him to respond, but I'll have to ask him to respond and to lead the discussion. So, Your Excellency, please, could you please respond to your own part of the questions? Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Ministers, all protocols duly observed. I want to assure my friend, you see him like this, when you see him dance and sing, you will know he's not disabled at all. But I want to assure him that just last week, the Kaduna State Executive Council approved a disability policy. We think that is the first step towards legislating a set of principles that will enable the state to impose a regime of no discrimination against people with disability. We've approved the disability policy, and the next step is to develop a bill that will bring to the State House of Assembly, and I'm happy that our Speaker is here and most of the State House of Assembly members are here for their necessary action. So we have not forgotten. The President said we will do this and we must do it, and we just need a little bit of time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The Honorable Minister for Solid Minerals will please take on the issues, raised by Engineer Yatu Sanusi, which are the issue of local government reforms, local government autonomy, electoral reforms ahead of 2019, and the issue on the Constitution. And also, you will please take on the question of what is the federal government doing about the bill of persons living with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. On the question of the disability bill, the way I would like to answer that is to say that, yes, the President did confirm what the gentleman said at the town hall meeting we held in Lafia, Nasarawa State. That was the town hall meeting that the President, as the candidate, held with the members of the community. And one of the very first steps towards that has been taken by the President. Even in this dearth of appointment that has been referred to, one of the very first appointments that Mr. President has made is the appointment of Dr. Ankali, who was also the major driver of our campaign with the community, the disabled, during the electioneering campaign. And I'm aware that he has started the process of putting together an executive bill that will go to the National Assembly with a view to promulgating a disability act in the shortest possible time. So Mr. President has not forgotten. It's on the front burner of government activity, and we're doing a lot to realize that promise. On the other questions that you have asked me to respond to, I don't know why I'm the one you've asked to respond to all these political questions, but I guess I'm a politician. I can't deny that. And I've also been involved in constitutional reform campaign, so maybe I'm an appropriate person to ask. What I can say is that government is obviously a continuum. The last government organized a certain national forum for constitutional reform, national conference it calls it. I don't know if many Nigerians would agree that that particular forum met the conditionalities required for an objective, people-centered and process-driven constitutional reform agenda. Be that as it may, many of the issues that came out of that forum are also issues that were addressed in the manifesto of our party. And at least, even if we're not tied to that particular forum, Mr. President is tied to the manifesto of APC. And questions of decentralization, effective cooperation with states and local governments are very dear to the President and very dear to our party, because we believe that people must take ownership from the bottom up, and that Nigeria has been operated to a large extent as an overtly centralized institution. And we really need to start giving coordinate responsibilities and powers to local and state-centered institutions. One of it is what the Minister of Interior spoke about. Although there's no consensus, there is clearly in our own manifesto a commitment to multi-level policing at the community level, policing at the state level, policing at the federal level. So in order to achieve efficiency of policing. And with regards to local government autonomy and local government reform, there is also diverse views on this. On the one hand, you have those who strongly feel that local governments as currently constituted have not really served our people well. They've just served as centers of sharing whatever comes to local government rather than taking development down to the level of our people. And that it may well be better to strengthen the two-tier system we have and ensure that the states have the powers to then determine how low the autonomy of the districts, the local government zone should be. The important point here is that for us as a government, we believe that local government should serve our people, and whatever reform is going to happen is going to guarantee not just devolution to the lower level, but also accountability at the lower level, because accountability should not just be at the federal level. Corruption can be devolved from the federal to the local. And when corruption is devolved to the local, how do we hold the people who are in charge accountable? I think we should be interested in that, and we should ensure that whatever we do holds those that we have empowered and voted into office at the local level to also be accountable to our people at the local level. On electoral reform, well, that's really not a matter for us as a government. There's an independent electoral reform body. And I thought I heard the chairman of the body mention just a couple of days ago on television that they are already in discussion with the National Assembly on how to reform certain aspects of the Electoral Act in order to meet the exigencies of the moment and address some of the gaps that have been noticed in light of the last elections that we have had. On questions of design of electoral patterns, whether it's direct election or indirect election, I think again this is a matter that we should leave to the electoral independent National Electoral Commission to handle. The important thing is to ensure that those elected are the true representatives and the true yearnings of the ordinary people, rather than those who have rigged themselves into office. For that, we are passionate that it's only those who have won the genuine votes of Nigerians who should be their representatives at every level, not just the national level. Thank you.